Welcome everybody around the world. Welcome to all my subscribers. You won't be able to see me today because I gotta rearrange my setup to do this stream. This will be another short video. I'm not gonna make it very long. I've got to go do something. What I want to do is to share this amazing information. We all know that it was the Pentagon, I think it was, a few years ago now, released between 3 and 5 clips of UFOs, genuine UFOs that they have been tracking. And the pilots and the military personnel and whatever who are, doing that tracking or, saw them in the craft at the time, not the aliens, but they were in the pilots or the military staff who were flying their own craft who witnessed this, yada yada. They testified there's no way that any civilization on this earth has this technology. So that bit of disclosure came out years ago. It appears to have blown over everybody's head, okay, because nobody's making a big deal about it. We've wanted UFO, alien disclosure. Who flies UFOs but aliens, right? Let's all be realistic, right? So UFO disclosure is alien disclosure. Okay, disclosing UFOs if they're just Russian, that ain't some disclosure, you know what I mean? So we really did have alien disclosure years ago. But like I said, it blew over everybody's head. Because why? They didn't say the word alien in the disclosure. They just did UFO disclosure. Okay? But a few years later, just the other day, we have new breaking news. Okay, this is from July 26th, July 27th. It's on the mainstream news. This, for example, is Fox News. I'm quite certain it's probably on all the other news outlets. And this time, the disclosure has gone a step further. I guess they're too scared to just say aliens exist. You know what I mean? They're doing it in steps. But supposedly, okay, the Pentagon admits that there are off-world vehicles that are not made on this earth. Now, that's basically saying they're alien craft, which is basically saying this is alien disclosure. Okay, but again, this is going to blow over everybody's heads because they're not jumping out, waving their arms around saying, hey, aliens are real, verbatim. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to play this clip here from the news about this awesome disclosure. Okay, and then I'm going to show a video clip that will blow your blinking minds. It will blow your minds. As I've said before in one or two of my videos, the South American countries and Mexico and a lot of these Latino nations, they have fantastic UFO, coverage, or down in those countries, man, like they get the most astounding UFO footage on a daily basis. And the American media and probably the rest of the world, they're not really privy to it. I never see, sorry, let me just turn this music down a bit. I'll just leave it, whatever. Right? But you never hear about these cases in the American news and in other news stations, right? But they get them like every day. Like all these, sorry, one sec. Right? All these fantastic UFO videos you don't see on American television. They're far clearer. They're far, these people down in those countries, they can zoom right in on the craft. There's fantastic craft. I've seen so many different types of craft. There's so many of these channels on YouTube, but because they speak Spanish or whatever, people just don't hear them. But you can watch them. A lot of them have closed caption for English. And there's one channel in particular I think is astounding, and I'm going to help promote this channel because I just think it needs to be promoted. And I'll show that in a second after this clip. But like all these, Latin America, whatever you want to call them, right? Spanish, I can't say they're Spanish, but all these Latin American, for lack of a better term, channels, they have fantastic evidence on them. And, for example, like one of these Mexican volcanoes, I can't pronounce the name, like Popocatépetl or whatever, there's UFOs flying in and out of that thing on a regular basis. And it's a volcano, if I didn't say, right? Popol, or I think it's Popol or something like that. They have live camera feeds, and a lot of these like Spanish-speaking channels, they show the live camera feeds, and you can literally, I mean, you only might see like one or two UFOs in the space of an hour or two or 4 hours, but I mean, come on, it's fantastic, fantastic evidence. I've heard before that a number of these South American governments, maybe even also the Mexican government, they have disclosed aliens and UFOs to the public. Also, these countries down there, they have, UFO visitations on a regular basis, mass sightings on a regular basis. And why isn't it being reported, in the rest of the Western media? It's kind of a tongue twister, right? It just makes you scratch your head. I think it's just that America, the government and all that, FBI and all the other divisions, it doesn't all come down to Trump or anything. And he wants UFO disclosure, but whatever, right? I just think the American government and all the ABC divisions, you know what I mean, the ABC divisions, FBI, NSA, CIA, and all that, they have all their protocols in place, and they're probably saying, nah, we can't throw the Americans, sorry, into full disclosure like these other countries are. But it is a stark reality, people. Like, there's UFOs and aliens landing in South American and, Mexico and other countries on a regular basis. Okay, the people are interacting with the craft and everything on a regular basis. Okay, so technically speaking, there already is UFO disclosure. It's not like America represents the planet, right? So I'm kind of speaking on behalf of America here, where they need to give full, just open, verbatim disclosure. Yes, aliens are real. But this clip here I'm about to play from the news is the closest we've ever gotten to this, in, at least America-wise, in known history. Okay, this is a fantastic admission. But wait till you see the second clip I'm going to play from that Spanish-speaking channel. I think it's from Mexico or something. That video will blow your mind. The UFOs that were caught on camera. And I believe these UFOs are in Afghanistan. It will blow your mind. And before I show or give away, ruin the surprise of what it shows, it's somewhat similar to some of the U.S. released videos, like the Pentagon admitted and released for public viewing, which show UFO craft. One of those craft was emitting some type of liquid or gas into the atmosphere. Plumes and plumes of it. It was almost supernatural how much stuff was coming out of this little craft. And it was all caught on camera by the military and fully disclosed. Okay, so however many years ago that event occurred, I don't know, but these craft are pumping stuff into our atmosphere. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it just a waste product from their vehicle? We don't know, right? But it's very, very, very intriguing nonetheless. And that's the only hint I'm going to give as to what's in this second clip here. Again, when you see this clip, you will probably pee your pants. Is that incredible? Okay, so let's go play this first news clip here. It's 5 minutes long. I'll play the whole thing. And then I'm going to play that second clip. And that's going to be basically it for the video. I'll do a little bit of talking or whatever, and that's it. Okay, so here we go. Here's Fox News from posted July 27th. I imagine it came out the other day. I've been watching other channels. They have a similar story out, and it all came out in the last few days. So I do believe it's very recent news. So here we go.
Much of the media have mocked the existence of unidentified flying objects. The U.S. Pentagon has been studying this subject for quite a long time, and apparently will soon release some of its findings, which remain classified. According to a new report in the New York Times, the U.S. government may have physical evidence of, and we're quoting, off-world vehicles not made on this Earth. The government has also released footage of UFO sightings, including a 2004 encounter recorded from an advanced Navy fighter jet. Commander David Fravor is a retired naval aviator who once saw something he could not explain, that science can't explain. We're honored to have him on tonight. Mr. Fravor, thanks so much for coming on. So, tell us if you think this is being misinterpreted. According to the New York Times, the U.S. government has physical evidence of some sort of vehicle made not on this Earth. Is it what it sounds like?
Well, it sounds that way to me, Tucker. I just, I never want to speculate what the government truly has, but I would say there's stuff out there. I mean, the four of us that chased the Tic Tac in 2004 have attested to it multiple times that what we saw exceeded anything that we had in our inventory, far superior to the airplanes that we were flying in at the time they were brand new. So I would say yes, there's something out there, and hopefully the government does have stuff.
So when we spoke before about this, and you suggested that the object you saw that you chased, the Tic Tac, behaved in ways that challenged your understanding of aeronautics, of physics, and that you didn't think it was likely that that object belonged to a foreign military. Do you think the U.S. government has concluded that this is not Russia, China, or some other country?
I'm pretty sure of that, you know, just by some of the phone calls that we have gotten, some of the people that we have talked to in the government, that they are unaware of what this is. I think that ties directly with the East Coast sighting with the gimbal video, and I'd be willing to say, just because I'm in contact with a lot of these people, that there are more incidents that are starting to come out, that people are starting to report inside the government channels of things that they've seen, and I think you're seeing it from people in the past, because it always had that taboo to come out and talk about these things. You're not finding people from the past that are saying, hey, I saw this, I just was never told to report it, or when I did, I was told not to say anything. Yeah. So I think since 2017, the world is starting to change because of the publicity, because of the attention of the Senate and the Congress, because of people like Marco Rubio and the Intel Committee of telling the DOD, hey, I want to report. I think you're starting to see more and more of that. And I would say if the government does have stuff, and I don't know what they have, but if they do, I would think that, you know, there's probably stuff. If you go, Roswell was 73 years ago. If something did happen, because there's a lot of speculation that there was something other than a weather balloon, where's all that at? Yeah. I mean, if just by odds, something would be here.
So that raises the question of why all the secrecy? I mean, clearly the U.S. government has lied to the public for maybe 73 years. Why do you think?
Well, you know, if we go back to like Project Blue Book and go, you know, it was done, it really did two things. One, it investigated occurrences and sightings that people saw. The other one was it primarily was sent out to debunk, to prove that it wasn't, or to make excuses of why it wasn't. I don't know why. I think some of it was trying to capture that technology, but if something lands in your front yard, there's no reason to deny that it existed, or, you know, or for the government to cover it up, because, you know, if it's not collected by some means that's going to question our national security or our offensive or defensive capabilities, then why would you hide it? That just baffles me. Just like our incident, why wasn't it thoroughly investigated at the time for something that literally could penetrate a battle group spaces, and they did nothing? I mean, there was nothing done until really about 2009.
I mean, there's a story here that a lot of us can't wait to see. But finally, do you feel vindicated?
I never, yeah, you could say that, but I never, you know, most of the fellow aviators that know the group of us, we were never like chastised, or, I mean, you get ribbed, but it was never like you're crazy or anything like that.
Right.
But I know there are people that do have that fear of coming out saying, you know, that it's going to ruin their career. And for me, it just wasn't that. It was never the case.
Right.
With us.
Well, that's the beauty of being a naval aviator. People take you seriously by definition. Commander, thanks so much.
And I try.
That's the end of the clip. Don't forget the first words said and shown on the news screen, on the major news, right? Don't forget the first thing shown and said, that the Pentagon has admitted to possessing off-world craft that they have captured. Okay? Don't forget that, because that's the admission. Okay, folks? That is the admission that aliens are real. Now, we already knew that. We already knew that. I've read declassified documents, top secret, all sorts of clearances that are declassified legally, that openly admit that UFOs and aliens are real and here. Okay, but as far as them admitting it on media, okay, here we go. We finally got it. Now, before I go and play the most astounding clip, like I said, this one here I just think is interesting. It's very short. It's only about 15 seconds. It's the U.S. General Douglas MacArthur, way back in 1951 or 1953. Okay, this is after Roswell. Listen to what this man says, okay? This might be open to a little bit of speculation, but nonetheless, the man himself said the following.
We speak now in strange new terms of harnessing the cosmic energy, of spaceships to the moon. Of ultimate conflict between a united human race and the sinister force of some other planetary galaxy.
Dad,
Now, you really think that Douglas MacArthur is going to come out and say something like that if there wasn't something serious to it? You know what I mean? They didn't have to show the Jetsons yet. You know what I mean? This is 1951, 1953, a couple years after Roswell. That's Douglas MacArthur. I just think that's interesting. Now get ready to pee your pants when you see the following video. I will promote this channel because I think it's fantastic. It's all Spanish though. Skywatchers, okay? Skywatchers con Carlos Clemente, okay? Now, before I play it, let's put the closed caption on so people could see that. One sec. Spanish is auto. See, what you got to do first, YouTube's a little confusing. You got to click CC first, okay? And then just follow what I'm doing here, okay? You got to go down to auto translate. This is for when you want to watch the channel yourself, okay? Click down a few times, pick English. Okay, you should be good to go. Some people get confused how to do this. Now check this out, man. Check this out. You won't believe your eyes. And even though this has been disclosed down in these South American, Mexico, these type of countries, it still has not reached American. And even on YouTube, no American has access to this video. I tried looking for it. I couldn't find one English-speaking person who has access to this video. But this is a military video from Afghanistan, I believe in 2011. Now check this out, man. Check this out. Let me enlarge the screen. This is mind-blowing, man. This is the most mind-blowing UFO video I've ever seen.
La videograbación que usted observará en los siguientes momentos corresponde a un evento extraordinario que fue obtenido en una zona de guerra ubicada en Afganistán, en el corazón de Asia. La investigación realizada hasta este momento revela que se trata de una evidencia proveniente de una fuente oficial militar. La grabación es real, posiblemente obtenida el 3 de mayo del año 2011 a las 21 horas con 25 minutos. Se trata de una imagen nocturna. La vemos en blanco y negro debido a la cámara flip que se está utilizando de espectro infrarrojo. En el desarrollo de este fenómeno podemos observar 4 objetos suspendidos en el aire que arrojan un material no identificado desde la parte baja de su estructura. Después de unos momentos ocurre algo que desafía cualquier tipo de explicación. Observe con cuidado. Un misil aire-aire impacta directamente a 2 de los objetos, los cuales no sufren ningún tipo de daño después de haber sido sacudidos solamente un poco. Es posible que al impactar el misil desprendan esa especie de energía o sustancia, la cual van lanzando por debajo de su estructura. Veamos esto con atención.
Missile hits them. And the craft aren't even affected by the missile. They must have some type of force field technology, man. Look at this. Even the stuff that they're depositing on the earth isn't even affected. Look, the thing's still dropping. The missile just hit it, and it's still dropping the material. What in the name of God are they doing?
Podría tratarse que los objetos voladores no identificados no se ven afectados por el impacto directo de un misil. Se estima que este, por su trayectoria, podría haber sido disparado desde un jet de combate. Observemos una vez más con atención. El misil da en el blanco en 2 ocasiones y solo se aprecia una breve sacudida en los objetos, pero estos permanecen estáticos sin exponer daño alguno. Estamos siendo testigos una vez más de una demostración de tecnología avanzada desconocida para el hombre. Es importante mencionar que la toma se observa en tonalidades blanco y negro y ligeramente sobreexpuesto, debido a que el fenómeno está siendo registrado a través de una cámara FLIR, que es de uso regular en las Fuerzas Armadas alrededor del mundo.
I'll just let the clip finish. It's only got 2 more minutes. Like, what are these things depositing on the earth, man? What is this stuff? What the heck are they doing?
Esta cámara tiene como una de sus principales funciones la de registrar la energía o el calor que emite un objeto. En este caso se trata de los 4 ovnis suspendidos en el cielo y que se aprecian con total claridad en su forma y extraño comportamiento. La toma también presenta un marco compuesto por una zona montañosa que corresponde a la orografía de la zona del conflicto en Afganistán. El Pentágono no ha confirmado ni negado las imágenes, sin embargo, son este tipo de evidencias las que seguramente están motivando a que el propio Pentágono se abra y que exista un enorme interés por parte del Congreso de los Estados Unidos ante estas evidencias, las cuales poco a poco están siendo desclasificadas y aceptadas como evidencias reales de la presencia de ovnis en los cielos de Norteamérica. En este caso, el evento ocurrió en Afganistán. Será importante entonces esperar la respuesta por parte de las instancias militares y políticas de Estados Unidos con respecto a estas evidencias filtradas a la red.
I just want to point something out. The amount of material coming out of the craft is greater than the size of the craft. It goes back to the original perplexing question. What in the name of God, good or bad, what are they depositing? Where is it coming from? How did they not get blown up or affected by the missiles? The missiles blew up, hitting them. And the most that happened, like the narrator says, they got a little jolt. This is some serious stuff, man. This is just like that other video the U.S. military declassified a couple years ago, put out there for public viewing, where they had a different shaped craft, right? I think it was like a wedge shape or whatever, but who cares? It was putting out plumes and plumes. Not the same, this is like dropping down, but it was putting out plumes like horizontally of like a gas or like some type of liquidy gas or whatever. I don't even know what the heck it was. Nobody does, right? Some people speculate maybe it's just jettisoning fuel or, you know, something non-harmful. But after you see something like this, it makes you wonder. These things, like I said, they're pumping so much material out, and it's just like that other craft. Like, is it some type of liquid that super expands when exposed to our atmosphere? Is that what's making its volume increase exponentially? I don't know. Right? But this is mind-blowing, man. There's only like 30 seconds left, so let's just finish the clip.
Y que están causando ya un gran interés en los círculos y medios especializados. Esta investigación continuará.
So that's it for the clip. All I can say, folks, is, you know, we can only speculate what they're dropping. What if those craft there, just one idea I have, what if they're dropping personnel onto the earth? Right? This is from 2011. Maybe this is one of the real reasons they did the Afghan war. Who could argue otherwise? It's very possible. You know what I mean? This is some serious stuff to think about. We've always heard in conspiracy circles that, you know, different wars here and there, they had ulterior motives, right? Whether UFO, whatever related. We hear about encounters with giants with the military and this and that there. But this isn't like that giant story. This has video evidence. This is just a CGI picture, right? At the end of their video. But I mean, man, that makes my heart pound. Like, that is the most amazing video I have ever seen in my life to do with UFOs, and the most perplexing. So, you know, think about that when you go to sleep tonight. So, if that's from 2011, what that means, my little pointing stick, if that's from 2011, that means for 9 years, those craft have potentially been dropping stuff here. Chemicals, creatures, personnel, you don't know. Are they bioengineering the earth? Are they terraforming the earth? Are they somewhat responsible for certain types of climate change? What else are they responsible for? You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to get deep into this because I've got to go do something, but I urge anybody, you know, if you're religiously inclined, if you're not, then don't bother, but if you're religiously inclined, I urge you to go watch the videos on my channel. I got 1 or 2 where I go through Bible verses that show the Bible teaches the heavens are outer space. It explicitly says it's where the sun, moon, stars, and constellations are. And the Bible says that God has hosts in the heavens. There's armies, there's beings, there's living beings occupying the heavens amidst the stars. Okay, and there's armies up there, armies that fight for God and everything. Okay, these are the angels, the messengers, B'nai Elohim, the sons of God. Okay, they occupy the heavens. Revelation 12 shows us that Satan and his minions, they were actually extraterrestrials. And they were kicked out of the heavens and bound to earth after the death and resurrection of Jesus. Okay, now, why am I mentioning this? Because according to what I believe, which I can verify with all different methods, religiously, non-religiously, whatever, right? Most of the extraterrestrials, in my opinion, that are visibly interacting on this earth, like these, they're not actually from outer space. Okay? They're from within the earth. And there is tons of testimony from all different directions that supports that. Bible testimony, Admiral Byrd, there's a ton of stuff. One of the first, actually the first recorded, government recorded alien sighting, okay, was in 1908. And in 1908, sheriffs on horseback, I think in the Utah region, were chasing bandits through the desert. And the bandits escaped into a cave. The sheriffs went into the cave after the bandits. They couldn't find them. They went deeper and deeper into the cave, this uncharted cavern. And they began to hear machinery noises. This is 1908. Machinery noises and lights and sounds from deep within the earth, lower in the cavern regions. The cave tunnels are huge. They go across multiple states. They're hundreds or even thousands of miles long. Mammoth Cave System is over 1,000 kilometers long underground. Okay? You have the ancient Sumerian text saying when the Anunnaki first came here, first thing they did was land in the Abzu, which people speculate was Africa, bored with their machinery into the earth and made giant underground caverns for them to set up their home base at. Artificial tunnels everywhere. We've got that. We've got all the talk about Bigfoot living in the underground caverns. Almost every native culture around the world talks about the inner earth being inhabited by beings. Medieval folklore in Europe, for example, you have the elves. They would live underground. You have dwarves. You have all these other types of beings. They almost always come from underground. Okay, elves had technology. They had fantastic weapons. They had magic, right? Magic wands or rods. Native American tales talk about the Sky Brothers who came here who had lightning rods. Greek mythology talks about the Greek gods who had the lightning rod. I mean, all the cultures agree. Anyways, long story short, okay, in my opinion, religiously, with religious evidence and non-religious evidence, okay, I fully 100% believe that 99% of the aliens and UFOs that interact with our Earth visibly are from within the Earth. This is just logically more sensible because it would take the power of a sun to travel light years to get here from the nearest star. So unless they're doing wormhole, gateway, flip-flap technology that we can't even justify or explain, okay, it's just far more likely that they've always lived within the Earth. And humankind went from not having televisions to having iPads, holograms, and everything in less than 100 years. Humankind as we know it. If these beings have been in the earth for thousands of years, who is to say that they didn't advance technologically as well? And that would fully explain, this might have been my theory for years, that eventually they started building craft within the earth and started visiting the surface. You see my point? So I think all these types of craft, maybe some are true aliens, right? Actual messengers from the heavens is very likely, very possible. But God doesn't allow them to just directly interact with mankind, only in extreme circumstances, right? When nations are being destroyed or whatever it might be. Very rare circumstances. But there is no biblical prohibition against Satan's minions who were cast down here 2,000 years ago. There is no biblical prohibition, and they were here before that. They are bound to the earth 2,000 years ago. They went to and fro from the earth before that. Let's keep that in mind. There's no biblical prohibition to these beings being from the inner earth. They could maybe part of Satan's legions, and they're just making their way out from the inner earth to the surface in these latter years. And why in these latter years? Because we're reaching the end days. The big end time battle that will be in the skies above us is going to happen. I believe in less than 2 years. It could happen any day, really. Now let's look at the evidence. I'm getting a little more religious here, right? Most of us agree we're in the end days. I ain't going to get into the prophecy of Daniel and all the proof for that, right? But we're in the end days. Most people, even atheists, are having prophetic dreams of the end days. I've seen a few atheist dream videos where they say, yeah, this is making me wonder about God. You know what I mean? They're dreaming of alien invasion, the rapture, and all this and that there. But I'm mentioning all this stuff because, and I don't want to go down this avenue, but aliens aren't demons. According to the Bible, they're angels. Any bad aliens were bound down here 2,000 years ago. That's what I want every Christian or religiously inclined person to understand. So these things, if they're bad, they ain't coming from outer space. Just understand that. Unless the moon counts as part of the earth, maybe they're on the moon. I've always speculated that. Okay? But as far as we know, the text says they're bound to the earth. Okay? So these are not, the evil ones are not space aliens. Well, they are, you know what I mean? But they were bound here 2,000 years ago. So technically, they're terrestrial. And they've been planning, in my opinion, they've been planning this, okay, for when the end days arrive. And why? Because the Bible tells, Jesus says, when the disciples asked him, how do we know when it's the end days and you are here and you have arrived? Jesus answered and said, when you see the stars, which is the biblical term for messengers, angels, celestial messengers. When he said, when you see the stars, the celestial messengers falling to the earth. So when one day comes and we start seeing UFOs crashing down to the earth and landing on the earth en masse, we know Jesus is here. Nothing like that has ever happened in human history. A UFO, mass UFO invasion, war, anything like that. Nothing has ever happened in known human history. Now, I could start piecing the facts together. We got religious people and non-religious people having incredible prophetic dreams that were in the end days, involving UFOs coming, good and bad aliens coming. You know what I mean? You've got that. You've got the American government and all the other world governments finally declassifying all this stuff right in the same time phase. Coincidence? I think not. Maybe that is a justifiable reason why the U.S. government kept it so secret so long. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to demonize the government or anything like that there, right? I don't believe the government's 100% evil. There's bad people in government, but the government itself isn't evil. Okay? Any government, in my opinion. So I think when you add the logical evidence together, it shows us that some major stuff is about to go down on this planet. Major UFO sightings have gone up exponentially in the last few years. Exponentially, especially in the South American countries. That's why they're getting so many countless videos non-stop. So in conclusion for my video, any day now or any year now, we're going to see a celestial event happen. There's going to be bad aliens and there's going to be good aliens. The good ones are working for God. The bad ones are working for Satan. And we're going to see a great celestial battle take place. And I also want to draw reference to the famous Jewish rabbi, Rabbi Kaduri. He wrote in a very famous work, which not a lot of people know about. He said that when the Hebrew year 5781 starts, Rosh Hashanah, which is September of 2020 this year on Gregorian calendar, he says that there will be a war in the heavens. Now that's fantastic for a Jewish person to say that, because Jewish people don't talk about stuff like that. That's New Testament stuff. A war in the heavens. Revelation 12. Okay? And the rest of Revelations. So the fact that one of the most renowned Jewish rabbis, I mean strict Orthodox, he don't like Jesus, for him to come out and receive a vision from God of seeing this celestial battle take place this year, I think that speaks mountains in terms of evidence. You know what I mean? That just corroborates everything. When you have evidence coming from somebody that don't agree with your parameters, when you get evidence that matches up from all different corners, then you know something's going to happen. And the last thing I want to say is, on these on these Spanish-speaking channels, they could be from any Spanish-speaking country, Mexico, South America, whatever, right? And some European countries, there are, hold on, having a mind blank, one sec. Anyways, forget it. Yes, that's what it was. There's crop circles showing up in the last few years, 5 to 10 year period or so, right? Religious crop circles. You don't hear about this on the news. Christian crucifixes, Christian crosses. There was the face of Jesus mapped out on 2 fields. Okay, and I don't mean just like looked like Jesus. It was cryptographic, if that's the right term. Only a computer, when you overlay the 2 abstract images, did it form the face seen on the Turin shroud. No human being could do that stuff. And the crop circles appeared overnight. Even if a human with a computer formulated how they could do it, where they can get the machinery from and pull that one off overnight. You know what I mean? I think these are the angels, the righteous angels from the heavens, warning mankind. I mean, God told us. God told us, and Jesus told us that you'll get signs in the heavens. Right? We'll get signs in the heavens when the times are coming. And we're getting the signs in the heavens. What about all the apocalyptic noises people have been hearing around the world starting around 2010? Again, everything's happened in the last 5-10 years. The great trumpet sounds. There's a lot of fake videos. There's a lot of real ones too. A lot of people, a lot of people have witnessed and heard the sounds themselves. It's not conspiracy. It's not BS. It's real. What is making all these sounds? You know what I mean? So, folks, that's it for my video today. This is food for thought. We have our UFO and basically alien disclosure is out. It is out. Okay, it's 100% out. The Pentagon has craft that ain't from this world. The truth is out. Okay, the truth is out. So I urge everybody, pray about this. Pray for wisdom, okay, and discernment and all that there. But please be careful. Do not demonize all the aliens like some stupid Christians do, because guess what, folks? Jesus said when he arrives, he's arriving with the hosts of the heaven. So all the celestial sons of God will be joining him as a massive galactic army to crush the army of Satan that's been bound here. And Jesus said, I'm going to send my angels, my messengers. And the messengers inhabit the stars, according to the Bible. He's going to send his messengers out to the 4 corners of the earth to gather the chosen. So when you see a messenger come to your house and knock on the door, like did with Abraham, and they could look human, they may not look human, who are we to judge? In the Bible, a lot of them looked human. But when they come knocking at your door saying, hey, come with us, are you going to say, oh no, get away from me, you're a demon? Don't push away the angels that Jesus is sending to you. And I really want that message to be drilled in for Christians. So many Christians are brainwashed by this nonsense that all aliens are demons. Like, what the heck do you think God did? He made this huge, beautiful universe with trillions of galaxies, billions and trillions of inhabitable planets. But they're all full of demons? Come on, man. And what, Earth is so special? Look at Earth. Earth is pathetic, man. We're demonic. Did God only create a demonic creation? No. The heavens are blessed. The heavens. What did Jesus said, when you're raptured off this earth, we're going to go up into the sky to join our Savior in the heavens. We have a home in the heavens prepared. He's going to take us to a whole new world, people. A whole new world. Ain't no no evil alien demon could do that. They don't have the right or the power. Satan was bound here with all his messengers. Revelation 12, go read it. All his messengers bound here. How could any dumb Christian come out and say that the aliens are going to come rapture us in a fake rapture, come take you away to some stupid planet? You know what I mean? It's BS. It's nonsense, man. The angels are going to be coming, and it's going to be cut and dry clear. When the day comes, there'll be no confusion. Okay, so it's not going to be some perplexing, you're pulling your hair out. I don't know, are you a demon? Are you an angel? It's going to be clear as day. Okay, so please do not demonize the messengers that are coming to redeem us. Please don't, because you're going to kiss your salvation away. You know what I mean? It'd be even worse if you were worthy. You know what I mean? You're worthy, you're righteous, but then you're going to demonize the ones who've come to redeem you from this earth. So folks, we have a fantastic home awaiting for us in the heavens. A paradise-like world waiting for us. We're going to reign like kings. Each of us. So we have that to look forward to, folks. So everybody needs to prepare and get ready. Okay, spiritually and everything. I urge, if you're not religious, get religious. Now is the time. Go to Christ. Okay, pray about this. Ask for the dream. I've had prophetic dream since I was 8, 9, or 10 years old, and it's got all this stuff in there. Ask God for that dream so you can see it happen. All right, I got to get going, folks. God bless you all. Everybody take care.